Hi everyone. My name is Marisa Thompson. I'm a high school English teacher and multimedia journalism teacher in Carlsbad, California, just north of San Diego. I've been a teacher for 16 years, and I wanted to share some of my favorite activities to do when you find yourself in an extra 15 or 20 minutes, or you're trying to build community and get students talking to each other and making some new friends, or it's that day before break, or you find yourself subbing for a class that doesn't have a sub plan. Here are some of my favorite activities that bring students together, that bring some fun into the classroom, and that require little to no prep. One of my favorite games to play when we just have a couple minutes is the letter game. Students take out a sheet of paper, or they get a place ready in the corner or on a margin. And I tell them, okay, I'm going to write a letter on the board, and you're going to have 1 minute to write as many words as you can think of that start with that letter. The only rules are, number 1, no proper nouns, so no names. Number 2, you can't get an extra word just by adding an S, so no pluralization by adding an S. So not kid and kids, but you can do child and children. I write the letter on the board, they start writing their words. If anyone says a word aloud, and it starts with that letter, I say, okay, you can't use that word. At the end of the time, I have students stand up, count up the number of words that they have, and I say, okay, 5 or fewer, sit down. And a few sit down. 10 or fewer, sit down. 15 or fewer, 20 or fewer, 25 or fewer. And the person with the most words reads their list aloud. I like to have fun with the students when I'm doing this, so I'll start to write a letter, right? I'll put a line, and they'll start guessing what letter it's going to be, and it's so funny to me that it works, whether they're 9th graders or 12th graders. Another fun game, even though it takes a few more minutes, is the A to Z game. And you can use it for absolutely any topic, any subject, anything. In order to set up, each group needs 2 sheets of paper. One sheet of paper will have A through M down the left margin, and the second piece of paper will have N through Z down the left margin. I tell students they can write an E in front of the X, and you're set up to play. It's easy to start this game with items that students have brought with them from home, so items that they're wearing or things that they've brought with them in their backpack or their lunchbox. Students need to have 1 item per letter, so no repeating an item for a different letter. They need to put all of the items onto the table so that you can check when they say that they're done. And as soon as a team says they're done, everyone has to pause while you go and check that they've actually completed the task.
A, AirPods. Backpack, which I had on. C, chips. D is my dinner, because I had dinner last night. E is earphones. F is a $50 bill.
Why in the world?
G is a gun. H is, what does that say? Homework. I is iPhone. J is my jeans. K is keys. L is a Lego. What is our N?
A mask.
Oh, a mask.
Okay.
Then we got our O is an orange pepper.
What about N?
N is Nordstrom gift card.
Oh yeah.
Our P is a pen. Our Q is a quarter.
Urban Place.
Urban Place.
Urban Place gift card.
Water. Extra gum. Tuna wrap.
They have extra gum right here.
Uncrustable. A shoe.
Is that an Uncrustable wrapper?
Yes, it is. Uncrustable. Visa gift card. Regal gift card. Yellow. And the zipper is right here.
Didn't we already use this one or no?
No.
Okay, and we want zipper. Nice. There are different variations you can do, so that's a good one to start just so that everyone can get used to the concept of the game. I've used it for different novels, and students can put a description of a character and then their name, or a description of a setting and then the setting itself, or a description of an event and maybe a thematic idea. I've also used it for literary devices or rhetorical devices. So students would come up with an example of the device at work, put a comma, and then provide the vocabulary term. But you can do it with anything. You could do it with math and different theorems. You could do it for science, any particular unit or area of study. You could do it for history and talking about different events and characters and themes and consequences, and you can use it for anything. But that's a fun game. And it's a great way to review material. Okay. This is a fun thing to do at the beginning of the year or at a time when you realize you really need students to get to know each other. So maybe when you change the seating chart or when there's a new student who comes to the class. I call it group graffiti. Each small group gets a large piece of construction paper and they can choose whatever color they want. Each group member has a different color marker. And the rule is that students have to constantly doodle. As the teacher, I have either a set of questions already organized, or you can go ahead and come up with them on the fly. It doesn't have to be school related. You're just trying to get students to talk to each other and hopefully find some common interests or common experiences so that they can become friends. Some of the questions I've asked are things like, what's your favorite game from when you were little and playing PE? What's your dream vacation spot? If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go? What would be the ultimate dream job for you? Or sometimes it's more fun to talk about what would be the ultimate nightmare job for you. Every time that you ask a question, students will turn the paper a quarter turn and continue doodling. Every question, quarter turn. Every question, a quarter turn. I let the time in between the questions lengthen as I start to notice more students are having conversations without my prompting them, because that's the ultimate point. But it is a cool piece of art to put up at the beginning of the year or to bring out at the end of the year. The students really like seeing their doodles and remember when they first became friends. This is a game that my dearest friend and I came up with when we were teaching together years ago. We call it Charadenary. So it's not just charades, and it's not just Pictionary, but actual battles between either two classes or half the class. You split the class into two teams, or if you have a visiting class, each class is about to battle it out. You have one representative from each team come up, and they decide, are we going to act things out, or are we going to draw things out? The participants make their choice, and the teacher provides them with a clue, or a topic, or a word, or a character, a thing. They go, on your mark, get set, go, and they act or they draw until a team calls out the answer. Team that gets the answer gets the point. It's a really good time. It's really loud, and it's perfect for just before a break or at the end of a unit. This last game is a fun one to play, whether you have just a few minutes or if you need to get the energy up in the room before you have a particular activity. I don't know what it originally was called, so some people will call it gotcha. Sometimes I call it the pancake hand circle game. But here's what you do. You have all the students join in a large circle facing inward. They put their left hand out flat like a pancake in front of the person that is just to their left. They take their right hand, turn it into a pointer hand, and place their pointer finger into the palm of the friend standing to their right. When the teacher says gotcha, they're supposed to grab with their left hand and remove their pointer finger with their right hand.
Here we go, do it again.
It always gets students laughing. Once students get used to it, you can have them switch and make their right hand a pancake and their left hand a pointer finger. You can have students be out if their finger gets grabbed and battle it out down to the final winner of the class. Or you can have multiple circles going and have a quick gotcha pancake hand circle tournament. But that's a good time to get people laughing, to get people up and moving, to have a good time.
I didn't say gotcha.
So there you go. Some of my favorite activities that require little to no prep and can be used throughout the year, beginning of the year, end of the year, before break, when the Wi-Fi goes down. Whenever you need something, you know that you can use one of these activities at the drop of a hat. I hope you're having a great time. I hope you're learning a lot. I hope you find some things that are really useful to you. And thanks for being the teacher you are. Take good care.